Imagine living in a world where your muscles are voluptuous and engorged 24/7. Unfortunately, that's just a mere fantasy. The reality is we live in a realm where our bodies are stringy, flimsy, and flaccid without a pernicious pump. Behold, the band-aid to cover our wounds in reality. The thick as frick pump cover will hide your limbs from the naked eye, while at the same time allowing you to comfortably reach engorgement and bulbosity. So cover pencil neck flaccidness until you reach stout horsecock girth with this ultra high quality sleek pump cover, available now at thickasfrick.com.
All right, fellas, it's Eric Bugenhagen reporting in here, and today we're going to talk about, because a lot of people requested this, and I said, let's check it out. It's Mitchell Hooper's I ranked every deadlift accessory best to worst. So let's watch this doozy as I suck down a fat, bulbous, efficacious dose of Ricky's Rotot Raspberry. All right.
What the best deadlift accessories are. We're ranking them 5 tiers. We're starting with S, which is superior.
I'm going to cut you off right there. Why? Okay, I feel like, listen, guys. This is no shade to Mitchell. Okay, this is just an observation. I've started to see a trend amongst YouTube shitfluencers, okay? Why? Okay, what is this tier system all of a sudden? How come every video that is recommended to me now has this horse crap in the thumbnail? Like, such bandwagon freaking conformists. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna make if I was gonna make a tier system, it would be simply horse cocks and pencil necks. Okay, there doesn't need to be freaking 5 things. You know what I mean? So if something's A tier, are people gonna look at that as, is it good? Is it, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's not S tier, but it's A. A is pretty good, but it's not S, you know what I'm saying? No, it's either pencil neck shittery or horse cockery, okay? Carry on.
A, B, C, and then we go to F, which are
Square bottom cap, square bottom cap.
Comments, let me know.
This is one of the most iconic lifting clips I've ever seen in my life. I've seen this clip now for, it's got to be damn near 10 years, right? And every single time I see this clip, it doesn't lose its entertainment value. It is one of the most quintessential, iconic lifting clips I've ever seen. I'm not even shitting you, okay? I believe it was Matty Ice. And it's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He got 7 plates, so kudos to him. 7 plates. The blood-curdling, guttural yells as he... I mean, if you haven't seen the clip, you got to check it out. All right, I don't want to spoil it for you guys. Matty Ice deadlift, you have to check it out.
What are your favorite deadlift accessories? What do you think I'm going to say is at the top of the list? If you followed me closely enough, you would know what I'm
I can't even hear it. I'm
now,
still...
Before we actually get to the exercise
Oh, my
themselves,
God.
I want to give the criteria by which I am going to rank these. It has to fulfill 3 requirements, in my opinion, to be an effective accessory to deadlifting. Number 1, does the movement address most weaknesses or imbalances that a person might have? It might not be the best accessory for you.
Square bottom cap.
Generally speaking, something that is going to build strength for a portion of the deadlift. Number 2, does it directly translate to your deadlift? We're going to have many of the...
I don't want it. Let's just get to it. What are all the freaking...
set up
Address people's weaknesses. Does it directly translate to your deadlift? Is it practical? Fair enough.
in terms of your fatigue levels, is it something that you could regularly do and be able to benefit from? Now, many people have done this before and that's deadlift. I am going to have a different opinion, as will everyone else. In fairness to
the 15 best deadlift accessory exercises.
Best accessories, but we've removed all of them that are...
What do you remove here? Why would you remove a deficit deadlift, though? A deficit deadlift is a great exercise. And it's very practical. All you need is anything to stand on. And essentially, I think every freaking... I mean, obviously, listen. We can't say that Mitchell Hooper is Jimothy Pencil neck. Guy, you know what I'm saying? Clearly a strong arsehole for sure. I just don't understand. Romanian deadlift with horizontal band resistance. The Horizon. Why the hell would you? I mean, that's stupid. That's just the dumbest thing. Now, if you had vertical band resistance, you know, power to you. But tell me, we're going to talk about the Romanian deadlift at least. What are we doing here? And why we're taking the? Are we taking the rack pull out too? We're not going to talk about the rack pull. I might have to remake this video and talk about all these 15 things. A TRX row. Pencil neck shitter, get that out of here. A TRX body saw? Are we talking about a... Why a Meadows row? Get the frick out of here.
Just deadlift variations instead of including them along with the accessories. Of course, deadlift variations are going to be...
Okay, all right. So this is where people start to critique my videos. Clearly, I need to just watch the video, huh? That makes a lot of sense what he's saying now. Okay, carry on.
Extremely useful when it comes to deadlifting more.
Of
so
course.
in fairness to Barbend, we have taken some out and we've picked the ones from the list that we want to include as part of our accessories.
I'm listening.
And when I say it's the top of the list, it's the top of the list of the ones that we included, which was 9 of the 15 exercises. A very fair representation of what they put out.
All right,
First,
carry
we
on,
have
come on.
kettlebell swing. This is what Barbend ranked as
frick?
a very fair representation
All right, come on,
of what they put out. First, we have kettlebell swing.
This, listen here. I'm starting to reach the point where I'm jumbling, mumbo jumbo, choking on my words already. Anyways, this is where I will have to remind you guys once again, a Russian gentleman many moons ago taught me all about the Russian kettlebells and how to use them and stuff. And this is around the same time where CrossFit was really hitting the scene. And he was just, this is horse crap. That's a CrossFit swing, you know what I mean? These are not kettlebell swings. The kettlebell swing is simply just the freaking hip hinge. You just use the hip hinge, snap it. Just get the weight to freaking parallel. This is, you know what I'm saying? This is not right. This is just encouraging people to use their freaking front delts, which, I mean, you have some, you know, maybe some cannonball boulder shoulders, but that's not a freaking kettlebell swing. So we can't incorporate this swinging style to help your deadlift. Well, let's listen.
This is what Barbend ranked as the 3rd best exercise to build a deadlift. I don't understand that at all. Kettlebell swing.
Well, let me tell you something real fast. Why I think kettlebell swing is great to build a deadlift is because a lot of the people in the gyms are Jimothy Pencil legs and have very little experience. They don't know how to hip hinge. And why the kettlebell swing is such a great tool is because it just is reinforcing hip hinge pattern just over and over and over again so that your freaking neurological groove is locked in to the max. So that when you grab a barbell, it's the exact same thing. And it's teaching you to snap with the hips, like to, you know what I mean? Like punch those hips forward, but not like this. If you do the kettlebell swing wrong, then it's not really beneficial at all. So if you learn how to do the kettlebell swing properly and snappy and punchy and ballistically, right? And it teaches a lot of people how to activate their glutes or use their glutes. Like if you do kettlebell swings right, I don't know about anyone else, but all I feel it is my glutes, my just a thick, voluptuous, rotund ass pump. Which I can tell you, before I learned all these, like a kettlebell swing and stuff, I was, you know, typical Johnny bodybuilder, lat pull downs and all that. Keep in mind, you know, I was 22 or something like that. I'd already been lifting for 11 years, but, you know, I was freaking leg press, lat pull downs, calf raises, that kind of lifter. You know what I'm saying? So my glute development was pitiful, but the kettlebell swings, and now I can activate my glutes, you know, with nothing but a freaking, I was going to say a toothbrush, but that would sound, I can activate my glutes with anything, okay? And I think that's with just years of fine freaking tuning, hip hinging patterns.
For me, they're gonna fall.
But I have never used a toothbrush to activate my glutes, so don't get it freaking twisted.
To the F category.
F tier. Okay, if we're freaking ranking movements that aren't variations of deadlifts to assist your deadlift. That is a, brother, that's a horse, then come on, brother. No, absolutely not. That's a horse crap. Kettlebell swing is like, guys, I've trained a lot of pencil necks back in the day when I would train people and stuff. And one of the main tools I would use would be a kettlebell, primarily for a warm-up though. But like every day, whether it was upper body day or lower body day, I would have them start with like just some kettlebell stuff because it gets the whole freaking body locked in and gets the CNS fired up. It's like how you can look at like a medicine ball in a sense. Like, is a medicine ball going to get you jacked and stacked? Is it going to get you huge bulbous, deltoids and pecs and all that? No, but the freaking value in the medicine ball, not that I'm, Johnny Medicine Ball, but the huge value of it is you can like slam it, or if you had a wall, you throw it like as hard as you can, you know what I mean? And it just freaking turns your CNS on. That's like the value in it. There's no value in like trying to build substantial muscle with these tools. The value is freaking getting your body turned the frick on. You know what I'm saying? To horse cock some serious weights. And the kettlebell is just a great tool for that. In terms of just, like I said, freaking getting the hips snappy and punchy, so you grab a barbell and just boom, rip that sucker.
Is not something that's going to help you big weight in a deadlift. How heavy could you possibly go in a kettlebell swing? On top of the fact that the acceleration and deceleration when you're down at the bottom.
Mr. Spicy Dick Delhagen.
Trying to go from the eccentric phase to the concentric phase, you can't use that much weight without risking injury.
So that's a young Dick Delhagen. I think that was with the 203. I know many times I also try to strap chains on. This is just with the kettlebell, but then also this is peak ego Dick Delhagen as well. So there were times where I'd put chains on as well. So like 20-pound chain on top of that to make it like 225 pounds. You feel what I'm saying, fellas? And then that's different. Now all of a sudden you're turning a kettlebell swing into like a pseudo hybrid swing / deadlift. And I don't think that's that great. So I will agree. I mean, you don't need to go heavy with the swing. I think the beauty in the swing is exploding with it and it's snapping it as hard as you can. So here's a young Dick Delhagen, aka Mr. Spice, swinging 203 pounds, where in fact I think I would have gotten a lot more out of like, at the time I had like a 125-pound kettlebell. If I just did a 125-pound kettlebell, snappy and fast and explosive, I think I would get more out of that. And keep in mind though, it's like, again, I feel like if you just did kettlebell swings, you're not gonna have a huge deadlift. But it's when you do the swings going hand in hand with also doing deadlifts. So like for a kettlebell swing, warming up with it, but you can swing, you know what I mean? Like let's say you're Johnny Cookie Cutter, you want a program or something like that. Guys, you could swing 5 days a week, no problem. You know what I mean? And deadlift once a week. That'd be absolutely gravy. You know what I'm saying? You could swing freaking 6 days a week. I mean, obviously I would say 7. I like everything 7 days a week. I'll raise my hand and be the first to say I want to do stuff 7 days a week. But for Johnny Cookie Cutter, you can do swings 3 days, 5 days a week, and deadlift only once a week. And I think that's going to help improve your deadlifting. You can't just do swings and expect to have a huge deadlift. I will agree with that. But although there's arguments to everything, apparently the Russian guru Pavel could deadlift. The guy was like a toothpick, right? But he wasn't trying to be a big bulbous behemoth. He was like a toothpick. And I think he could deadlift like 500 or something like that. And all he did was like swings. But keep in mind, toothpick status. So he's probably like 160 pounds. So it's pretty good. Like triple body weight deadlift, that's elite.
Eccentric phase, the concentric phase, you can't use that much weight without risking injury. So kettlebell swing.
Swear bottom catch.
Now to bent over barbell row. Again.
Yeah, boy!
This as number 2. And I actually really like this. A barbell row, if you're doing it well, it's not as much about moving the weight with your arms as it.
You know what? This is the thing with this. Everyone's going to talk about this. Let's see what he has to say. I'm just the worst with critiquing videos. Is
being able to isometrically hold a really strong position. Great exercise for your spinal erectors. For me, this falls to category.
Okay. Now listen here, I'm not the world's strongest man, so who the frick am I to speak? Although I am Dick Del Hagen, okay? Do you understand what I'm saying? And sorry, I had to do that because normally I do these and all that, but I was strucken with fever. I don't know, rampant pandemic must be going around again. I was bedridden for 2 days. I didn't even weigh myself because, I have crippling body dysmorphia, and if I check my weight and it's lower, I'll faint and I won't believe what I'm looking at. So I'm not even gonna look at it. So when you're getting big and bulbous, guys, and you're sucking down and scarfing treats, the secret is to wear tank tops all the time because you're seeing the big bulbous muscles, the delts, the traps, the arms, right? When you're getting shredded, lean, and mean, the secret is to just show the only thing that's improved. You know what I'm saying? You look like a douche, but like, what's the point of having abs if not to just, be like, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, with the deadlifts or the barbell rows, guys, let's give a shout out credit to a true elitist deadlift connoisseur, fellow Wisconsinite Pete Rubish. Okay, I think doing rows in that way is probably the best way to utilize the bent over row, I guess, for increasing your deadlift. Because when I was Johnny, I don't know, Johnny deadlifts, when all I did was deadlift variations every single day, that was the row that I felt had the best carryover as well. And that's like basically doing like from the ground, almost starting like a deadlift and then trying to you know what I mean? It's kind of like a cheat row. Just type in Pete Rubish bent over row. You'll see what I'm talking about. Because, this one's different too. But I don't even know what we're talking about. Rows are okay. I'm still just disgusted that he put a kettlebell swing in F tier.
Category B. A very good exercise, but certainly not towards the top of the list of things that I would use to build a big deadlift. Next is a unilateral TRX
Get this
row.
shittery
I have no
out.
idea
Get
how
this
to track
shittery out
this
of here.
On bar bend. They had this as
Get
number
that out of
9
here.
of the
Pencil
best
neck.
accessories possible. This is another
Are you-
fail in my books.
You can't put the kettlebell swing with that, though. Get the frick out of here.
Bodyweight exercise is not going to translate near as well as other things. It is a great exercise. There's nothing.
That's not great. Get that shit out of here. That is not even great. Don't even give that credit.
Moving only a portion of your body weight, you're going to have your feet on the ground. It is not going to help you.
I swear on my life, I'm not even saying this to be funny, I would only prescribe, if I was a trainer, I would only have a grandma do that. Not even shitting you. Because even if I was working with a grandpa, I'd be like, all right, grandpa, let's horse cock some dumbbells or something. For a grandma, they don't want to hold weights in their hands and all that. It's like, oh, I really feel this. That's the only person I would prescribe that to. Don't even say that that's a good act. Get that shit out of here.
Hold loads. Now, to barbell good mornings, bar bends.
Ooh!
Number one exercise. I'm going to put this up in the A tier. They are a great exercise to build strength in the entire posterior chain. But when we look at the reason that I'm not putting it in the superior category, a non-negotiable, is when we look at the 3 things that I'm ranking this on. Does the movement address most people's weaknesses or imbalances? Well, does a barbell good morning do that? Sort of, not really, because it's not exactly the same as deadlifting. Of course.
Yeah, but I thought the whole point was we're not doing deadlifting variations. So nothing's going to be the same as deadlifting because we've taken the deadlift variations out of this. Let me freaking give you my 2 cents. You know what I mean? It just drives me bonkers when I got to listen to other people's 2 cents. Let me just spit the shit straight at you. I did the Arnold program, okay, 6 months ago. And it had good mornings on, because I've never really given good mornings the time of day. I've tried them out from time to time. I don't know, why don't I just do Romanian deadlifts or something along those lines? Just a hip hinge. Why don't I do a kettlebell swing? I never really was a fan, right? But then I got the freaking cambered spider bar. Oh, doing good. That's my favorite exercise now, is a cambered spider bar good morning. Man, does that You feel that in all the right places. And since I started incorporating those, my deadlift, I hit PRs. I hit 2 PRs since I started incorporating the cambered spider bar, okay? So that's good shit, absolutely. And I feel that like everywhere that I feel the deadlift. Because even when I'm doing a cambered spider bar good morning, and it's heavy and I start to round, I round in the exact same way that I round for the deadlifting. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's just freaking a 1-to-1, apples to apples. I love it. So I say that, make that shit S tier, brother, you know? Also, when I was doing it, I was like, man, I just want to make sure that I'm doing this the right way. So let me look up fellow horsecock, Dan Green, okay? Another like world-class deadlifter. And he does them with the Elite FTS yoke, the safety squat bar. You know, I like the cambered spider bar more, but he does them with the, and it's just, if you're gonna do good mornings, guys, all I'm gonna say is doing them with a barbell, it kind of sucks. But when you do them with a specialty, freaking yoke or whatever, it's just straight cash money. It's so good. It's the best. It's one of the best exercises in the world.
Way that the technique translation would be relatively difficult. It's very practical, and it would somewhat translate to some people's deadlift, but not exactly. Now, next exercise we have is a trap bar deadlift. A trap bar deadlift.
Let me tell you this real fast. I don't even want to care. I don't even care about the opinion. Let me tell you my freaking opinion on trap bar deadlift. Beautiful. Okay. John Meadows. He's using the low handles here. If you are doing a trap bar deadlift with the low handles, you bet your freaking buns that shit is going to carry over huge. Almost a freaking apples to apples. Perfect carryover to your conventional deadlift. If you spin that sucker around and do the high handle, I'm almost going to say it has 0 carryover to your conventional deadlift. Because when you're doing it from the low handle from the floor, you're basically doing, you're just doing a deadlift, right? Even if you are like a squat dominant individual, you're still doing a deadlift. When you flip that sucker to the high handle, you're basically quarter squatting it up. You can lift it when it's heavy with almost 0 hip hinge. You know what I'm saying? And anytime ever, I'll raise my hand and I'll say I definitely do it. Anytime ever I see people doing it heavy with a trap bar deadlift, high handle, nobody's pulling in like a conventional deadlift manner. Everyone's pulling it like this. Look at my torso angle here versus here like you would for a conventional deadlift. So theoretically, you know, you could do the high handle and it would just be like doing a block pull with a straight bar, but most people's bodies, you know, people are their brains are freaking smart, and the brain will automatically go to the optimal leverages. So even if you have intentions to pull it here, as it gets heavy, eventually it's like you just kind of shift and squat it up. So low handle trap bar deadlift, straight up horse cockery, S tier. I mean, personally, guys, but I love high handle deadlift. I just did 920 the other day. Lifetime PR, moved like butter too. I'm going to keep doing it because I want to shoot for 1,000 from the high handle. I love it, and it feels good. I'm just saying it doesn't have good carryover to a barbell from the floor. But in terms of horse cockery, it's freaking great. Probably one of the best exercises you can do. My traps, especially when you got the Rick Dalhagen's dirty stick tricks with the freaking mindset manipulation band technique on there, and you do the high handle. My traps were sore for like a week because I had like, you know, you have like 800 pounds of plate on there, but then you have like hundreds of pounds of band tension too, and your traps are so freaking sore. So like high handle trap bar down, it's gonna make you a thick rotund horse cock, absolutely. Upper back, freaking lats working up the up, freaking what? Up the up, up the wazoo. Legs, you know. Even your pecs, dude. When I pull super heavy on a trap bar deadlift, when I'm maxing, I swear, I almost feel like I'm gonna tear a pec. Isn't that funny? Good Lord.
In a trap bar, you could squat it or you could deadlift it. And
we're running out of time here. Holy buckets. We're 4 minutes in. My wife and daughter are gonna be home in like 6. Oh my God, they're gonna be home in less than 10 minutes.
You can do this with really, really big.
Frick!
Benefit is you're gonna get stronger in your whole body. I'm going to rank
Hell
this
yeah.
one in the A category as well.
You will get strong in your whole body.
Strength, but it doesn't necessarily help every single person. If you've done a heavy trap bar deadlift, you know that off the floor they are extremely difficult, and usually they ease up once we're at knee height and above. For those of us who conventional deadlift, i.e. those of us who actually deadlift, it is harder at the knee and above than all.
Yeah, I mean, didn't I pretty much already said all this stuff. A young Dick Delhagen that he just showed, though. And it's funny because people were like, oh, but you're 9'10" back in the day or whatever. But, like, guys, man, back in the day, I just want to say something real fast. Like, I am still astounded by the weights that I can lift back in the day. But if you look at my back is, like, so rounded and bent, I can't believe I never got hurt. But that's the freaking resilience of a young horsecock. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, moving on.
Off the floor. So it's almost getting the strength curve backwards. That being said, phenomenal exercise to build strength while standing up, which is the principle of deadlifting.
Square bottom cat.
Barbend listed
This has, dude, I don't think this is going to carry. This is not going to strengthen your deadlift at all.
as number 5. It's great for anti-rotation. It's great for working your lats. Traditionally, you've got your...
I will say this. A young Dick Delhagen once did this with, it must have been 3, 4. Yeah, I swear it was like, I think 8 45s on there. And it was like just, just total body, jerk the weight up. That might have some carry over your deadlift, but I will tell you right now, 50-pound slow and controlled Meadows rows are not going to do jack diddly for your deadlift.
Yourself braced on your legs, so we're removing the benefit from a bench.
Jack diddly.
The isometric strength to your
I
base
agree.
and your chain. I cannot put it above barbell rope. I don't believe it's
Jack
as
diddly.
far away as a kettlebell swing and a TRX row. So a Meadows row or a Landmine row is going to sit in the C column. Next we have the TRX body saw. This made the barbend list. Basically,
Get that shit out of here. I mean, this is just for abs. Abs, I think, are important, but I don't know why they picked this exercise. But again, I think everyone can benefit from doing core work, though. Planks, side planks. None of that stuff's going to hurt you. I think it might ever so slightly make your deadlift feel more locked in. But this is, I don't even know why they would bring this up in the first place. How the frick is this going to get you a jack and stack deadlift?
if you're in a plank position, you put your feet in the TRX ropes, and then you just sort of like...
That's such a freaking, damn. Whatever happened to like the classic exercises? Like that's essentially just a Johnny pencil neck version of get your arms or hold a freaking pull-up bar, get your arms in the straps or something, and do a hanging leg raise. Great exercise. Now, put some freaking bulbous ball between your legs and raise that. Squeeze the ball with your legs, do the leg raise with a freaking med ball or any sort of weight. Weighted hanging leg raises. Cash money, right? Still, probably not going to give you a huge deadlift, but might help your deadlift feel a little more freaking locked in.
Move your body back and forth. I think it's a good core exercise.
Frick! I'm really running out of time here.
If your core was really weak and that's why you couldn't deadlift, would it help you? Probably. But I could 100% guarantee you that of everyone who's deadlifted more than 400 kilos, none of them had the body saw as a staple in their program in order to lift the most weight. We are putting that in category.
I can assure you, anyone with thick rotund tissue has never once done a body saw.
F as well. Next up is the hip thrust.
Interesting.
This is one that over time I've sort of gone back and forth because getting your...
I will say that a hip thrust, I think if done in the way of people trying to like, oh, I really want to feel my glutes. Oh, I feel it in my glutes when I do this and pause and squeeze on the top. I will be the one to say I think if you just load that shit up as much as you can and don't even care about reaching full lockout and squeeze and contract and all, I'm just talking just as much weight as you can. Just move it like this. Anytime I've done that, I feel in all my legs, even my freaking quads, I feel like I'm going to pull a hamstring. Do I have like a bulbous glute pump? No. But I feel like my whole lower body just got worked to the max. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say I think if you do the hip thrust and you aren't trying to be optimal, but instead just freaking horse cockery, it's a good exercise. And I think it will help your deadlift. I think if you're doing, lighter weight, trying to I feel it, I'm trying to isolate my glutes like a lot of people do, I don't think it's going to help that much.
Hips through in lockout is particularly useful, of course. If you do a high rep deadlift set, you should feel your glutes working very, very hard. But that being said, I think your hips coming through probably is limited by how strong your thoracic spine is, how strong your spinal erectors are, really. So you could have your hips come through but still be hunched over, and it's not a hip strength issue, it's a back strength issue. Now, it is useful to have really strong glutes.
Good Lord, look at all these exercises we gotta get through.
To your deadlift.
Don't care.
Correct.
No!
It does more.
Yeah!
It grows softer, fresher, and better.
Fellas, I tried to save time by just simply fast forwarding like 5 seconds, and YouTube punished me. Thus punishing you as well, the viewer. Frick!
24/7.
Why so complicated, first of all?
What are we doing?
Front rack Bulgarian split squat. Is it that different from a normal Bulgarian split squat?
The front rack Bulgarian split squat is supposed to make you stay more upright, like in a tall erection. Whereas on the back, you could have, you know what I'm saying, like you could comfortably, like if you were strong, like, hip dominant, probably could have a bit more forward lean, thus making it more of like a, hamstring glute versus being forced, because you're in the front rack position here, quad dominant. So I think that's the reason why. And I'm probably thinking because it'll enhance your leg drive, strengthen your quads, and thus I guess like front squats. Like front squats strengthen your core because you got to be a stiff erection the whole way through, as opposed to here. You feel what I'm saying? So that's probably why. But I will once again be the first to attest that anything in the front rack position, like, first of all, thick plunge horse cocks for the most part don't have any freaking mobility. Not to say it's a good thing, it's not. But anytime you have to hold it like this, like you're gonna be, if there's any bar rolling, like you're not gonna be able to horse cock it to the max versus having it on the back. So I think I think it's always better having it on the back. And if you want to be more, freaking straight up, I want to keep saying thick. Why is thick such a go-to? Firm, erect position, then just be conscious of that. Front Bulgarian split squat. Bulgarian split squat. Frick! Squat squat. Bulgarian split squat is a cash money movement for your glutes. Like, holy buckets, guys. Almost one of the greatest glute builders man has ever created. So all these things for the glutes, though. But I used to do a shit ton of Bulgarian split squats back in the day, and it didn't ever really seem to make my deadlift that much stronger. But like I said, one of the greatest glute developers, works your legs just like freaking bonkers. But in terms of it never really had a great carryover my deadlift, guys. I know he's not talking about deadlift accessories per se to enhance your deadlift, but I don't care. I'm just gonna give you my 2 cents. The best thing ever to strengthen my overall deadlift, in my opinion, if you guys have been watching for a long time consistently, you'll know what I'm gonna say, but the Romanian deadlift, nothing has increased my deadlift strength more than heavy Romanian deadlifts. And people are like, what's the point of it? I would 1 rep maximum. Some people are like, what's the point of doing it? It's like, brother, fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta just freaking, if you just go balls to the wall, heavy Romanian deadlifts, I promise you. And obviously that's to say, light with the warm-ups and the medium rep, you know what I mean? Getting all the rep ranges in. But man, Romanian deadlifts, just like, there's nothing like it. Seriously.
If you put an EMG on the muscle, it would be
Who gives a rat's patoot about EMG? Oh, there's Dick Delhagen.
Split squats in general. It's great to build strength whenever you have one foot.
The Jefferson split squat. Yeah, see, this is what I don't know. I would love to watch this whole video. We might have to do a part 2 because we're going to be running out of time here.
And not the other going.
Whew.
Pretty far away from what you actually have to do.
Hell yeah.
in the